How's it going, guys? Josh Olufemii here, and I just started a TikTok account. Go figure. I only have like 50 subscribers, so if you comment on TikTok, I'll probably answer every comment at this point. So I made a TikTok video the other day where I made this lens, or really a coffee thermos that looks like a lens that I feel like everyone has at this point, and I made it freeze in place in the air, and then I made it fly away to the side. I also made another video where I threw a tangerine up in the air and I made it freeze, and then I made it fall to the ground. How did I do this? I used After Effects. In After Effects, I used a combination of freeze framing, masking, expressions, and keyframing. In this video, I'm going to show you how I did the effect with the coffee mug / lens. So guys, before we start this tutorial, I have to tell you about a deal that has been literally a year in the making with one of my main sponsors, Envato Elements. As of this month, I am the only English-speaking YouTube channel that is able to offer Envato Elements for free for the first month. Absolutely free. Through my channel, you used to have to pay $9 for the first month. Now you can get it absolutely free. Envato Elements is basically a video editor's dream. It's a subscription service that gives you unlimited downloads of literally millions of transition packs, VFX packs, title packs, stock footage, royalty-free music, sound effects, Premiere overlays, After Effects overlays, and so much more. And it's all quality. Check it out in the link below. All right, so now let's get to the tutorial. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you guys how to do the freeze and bounce trick in After Effects. We're right now in Adobe Premiere, but we will go to After Effects right now. We have our piece of footage. We're gonna right click on the footage. Then we're gonna go to replace with After Effects composition. We're in After Effects. Let's name this project T5. Doesn't matter what you name it though. Click save. All right, we have our footage now. Let's go over to the point where I lift the lens up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into transform position, and I want to move this up for now because I want to see the full arc of this throw. Okay, so I'm going to wait for the lens to reach the top of its arc. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this footage, and I'm going to do Control D to duplicate it. Then I'm going to click on this upper footage. You know, let's actually rename this footage. I like to be organized. Let's rename this main footage. And let's click on this. Let's do rename, and let's name this lens 1. Or let's name it frozen lens 1, just so you know exactly what this is. Perfect. So I want to freeze this top layer. So I'm going to right click on this layer. I'm going to go to time. Then I'm going to go to freeze frame. It's going to be frozen right here where this square is. Then I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to press Alt left bracket, and that's going to cut the footage right there. So basically this footage is going to be frozen here and not frozen here because the frozen footage has been cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to then click on this top footage, and we're going to go to our pen tool, and we're going to cut this lens out by creating a mask. So now I'm going to go back to our selection tool, and now you can see the moving footage underneath because we have cut that top footage out. Pretty neat, right? Okay, cool. We're almost done. Next thing we're going to do, let's refresh that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and I'm going to show you how to do an expression. So if you go into the link below in the description, you will be led to this page. Shout out to School of Motion for giving us a bounce expression. A bounce expression is basically code that tells Premiere how to automate keyframes. So let's copy this code right here. Starts at E equals and then ends right here at value. Do right click and do copy. We're going to go back into After Effects. And what I want to do is I want to basically make this frozen lens bounce a little bit. Like I want it to go up to where it's at and then bounce a little bit and then stop. So what I want to do is instead of going in and trying to keyframe the position so it goes up and down really slow, really fast so it's bouncing, I'm going to click on position. I'm going to go into window. I'm going to go to animation. Then I'm going to go into add expression. And then in here, I'm going to paste that expression I just copied from the School of Motion website. And then I don't see anything. Or do I? Let's see. Nothing is happening. Well, this expression doesn't get activated unless you actually manipulate the keyframe. So I'm going to add some keyframes in position. So let's press the stopwatch, add a keyframe there. Let's create another keyframe there, and let's move the lens down just a few pixels, and then press play and see if that activates the expression. Not yet. I think I need to move these a little bit closer together. There we go. You see a little bit of that shake. I'm going to zoom in on the timeline. Let's move these a little bit closer together and see if that helps. There we go. You see that little bounce? There we go. That's pretty cool. So you see how it bounced a little bit. That just makes this lens look more realistic. It doesn't look like a cutout of a still frame. It actually looks like it's actually in the scene because it's actually bouncing. It looks like it just looks more real. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with the lens again. So I'm going to wait for this lens to drop here, and I'm going to go and duplicate this layer. Duplicate. Let's rename this Frozen Lens 2. Let's freeze the lens right there. Let's do freeze frame. And then we're going to Alt left bracket to cut it, and then I'm going to just bring it up above just for the sake of cleanliness. And then I'm going to go into my pen tool, and I'm going to draw around this so that it cuts this lens out, and you can see all the other layers around it. Cool. So as you can see, zoom out again, bam, and now we have two lenses. I want to apply that same expression, copy, over to Frozen Lens 2 now. So we're going to go into transform. I'm going to go into position, animation, add expression. And we're going to paste. And then again, I'm going to activate that expression by actually adding some keyframes in position. Okay, let's bring it down a few pixels so it activates that bounce. Let's make sure the pixels are close together. For some reason, this expression works best when the pixels are close together. So let's see how that looks. Perfect. You saw that bounce. It's subtle, but it's there. It's beautiful, beautifully subtle. Perfect. Now I'm going to show you the little extra thing I did. I'm going to show you that I actually make them swipe away. So watch, I'm going to make them swipe away. So when my finger swipes, I want these to basically like magnetically, fall away to the wall sideways. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keyframe them. So right when I swipe, my mid swipe, I'm going to go, let's do the second lens first. I'm going to go to the position, create a keyframe. I'm going to create another keyframe when my swipe ends, and I'm going to basically have it swipe away. So let's see how that looks. I keyframe the position so it goes away. What basically happened is I have my bounce expression. So it's going to want to bounce. So let's do this. Let's make it go out even further. You know what I need to do? I actually need to just separate these keyframes a little bit more. Basically, this bounce expression is activated stronger the closer these keyframes are to each other. So as you can see, these keyframes are strong enough so that it bounces, but it bounces once it's already out of frame, and it doesn't bounce all the way back into the frame. So we're going to do the same thing with the Frozen Lens 1. This is pretty simple, guys. You guys have done keyframe before. Just keyframe the position, bring it over here, and we're going to keyframe the position so it gets out. Let's see how this looks. Perfect. And we're going to have the swipe. There we go. I'm actually want to stagger these keyframes a little bit because I don't want them to go exactly the same time. Bam. adjust it a little bit more. Okay, and then whoosh. Perfect. Last thing is I want to actually add a motion blur. So we're going to enable motion blur, the mask global motion blur. Then let's collapse all this and make sure that each layer's motion blur is activated. And then we're going to press play. And let's see how this looks. Wait for this to render, so we may have to play it one more time. And there you go. That is a basic bounce, freeze and bounce effect. All this can be edited and tweaked, but I just wanted to give you the basic overall rundown of how to do this in After Effects. Pretty easy. You just have to use freezing, masking, expressions, and keyframing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, remember to keep it chill.